So to go ahead and get into the main topic here, the bread and butter, the meat and potatoes, we're going to be talking about, do you think that atheists need a church? And more importantly, do you think that we need a non-theistic type of community gathering? I'm gonna go ahead and let the Godless engineer tell what he thinks about Sunday Assembly.
Well, I really think that we need a community gathering as far as the Sunday Assembly goes. And my community that I run online kind of like an online emulation of that, I guess. I've created the groups that I run to try to provide a safe place for atheists, agnostics, and secular humanists to be able to come and get help and whatnot. But the thing with being online is that you have a lot of people that get really, really confident in themselves and say things that they normally wouldn't say to people, like face to face. And so we have to be really strict about it online. But as far as what AOLIS has experienced with the Sunday Assembly and having a physical community to go to and experience, I think is something that's very much needed. I know around in my area, in North Alabama, if you weren't part of some kind of church community, you just didn't have any friends. You were kind of an outcast. So, if you had friends, those friends went to church, and so if you didn't go to church, then you were kind of left out of all of their activities. And so I think it's a great facilitator for morale, for people to find fellowship. It's a really good way to get people involved with each other and helping each other out and getting them connected with each other. Another thing that's good about it is that you can organize each other and you can actually provide a service back to the community. You can do these community service things and you can give back, like I said. But also another thing with churches is that you have these mission trips. Well, why can't an atheist community get together and go off somewhere and do something? You already see that with tornado disasters out in Oklahoma when we had those tornado disasters. The local atheist groups got together and they helped out with the cleanup effort. So there's stuff like that, but
all right. Well, in short, I do think that community, like the Sunday Assembly, all that is needed for the atheist community, because it really fosters people coming together and supporting each other. Like Tyler said, just handing each other support, and my online groups that I manage, that's kind of what we've emulated. That's what we've tried to do. But the problem with online groups is that you get people on there that apparently don't know how to act in community type situations, and we regularly have to kick people out. And so I think that having a physical community of people in your area that you can get together with, that you can talk to, confide in, seek help from, is really helpful to a person's mental state, to just everything in general about a person. And the only contention that I have is this movement to call it atheist church. Which I know, and you said that you misled your title a little bit, and I understand the reasoning behind that, the misleading title. but in a very real sense, people are calling these Sunday assemblies or these atheist communities churches, because I'm not sure why, other than the fact that they're just they're wanting to emulate what they have left. But with the fact that people are trying to pigeonhole us into a religious movement, I really think it's kind of counterproductive to call it a church. But, so I think the term Sunday Assembly is actually a really good term to call it. If you're not really part of a humanist group or something like that that does things like more than once or twice a week, that you're an actual like group of people that actually do a whole lot of activities together. But if you're just a group of people that meets up like once or twice a week, something like that just get together and you're providing community with each other and fellowship. I mean, I think Sunday Assembly and any of those kind of titles is fine. Of course, that's just all semantical. But I think that having a community of people that you can turn to and talk to without the. I've actually had people tell me that they fear, people bringing up God to them, that they're afraid of people bringing up God because they don't want to say, well, I don't believe in God, because then they have to suffer through the onslaught of, oh, well, why don't you believe in God, and all these questions. And I mean, to be honest, most people just don't want to answer these questions. They don't want to spend 30 minutes every single day answering, well, why don't you believe in God? It's just ridiculous. So to be able to have a community of people that you can turn to and talk to and not have to worry about God being brought up is actually very relaxing. And that's what most of the members in my groups have found. Currently, right now, we have a main group, and then like we have a addiction recovering group. We have a LGBT group. We have a sort of like a general support group that we manage. We have a whole bunch of different groups that are specifically geared towards helping people and providing that kind of community in a more general online sense. For people that don't have these kind of groups and these kind of in areas like in North Alabama, we actually have a couple groups up here that I don't really go and work with, but that's pretty much because I work all the time. But I do like the fact that these communities, these assemblies are getting formed, and people are finding solace in each other and finding fellowship in each other, coming together, helping each other out, and I think that is very much needed in the atheist community. I'm the Godless Engineer. You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, just about everywhere. Just go to Facebook, type in Godless Engineer, Godless Engineering into the search bar, and find everything about me. Please join our group if you can, be an adult about it and interact with people as an adult. We've been having a lot of trouble here lately with people not being able to interact with other people as an adult. But if you can, please do join our group. We've got a really great group of admins that administer all of our groups, and of course I'm on my page, which I do mainly only post atheist stuff on the page, but that's just because that's my outlet. And I post atheist stuff on my YouTube. So please go to my channel and subscribe to it. I usually try to put out a new response video or a video in general every few days. So please go check me out, and I hope everybody has a nice time.